Hey everyone, I thought we would do a bit of a follow up from sci fi kind of UI type sounds. Well, I thought it might be interesting to have a quick look at one of the ways that we could do some data processing sounds or data streams that you might hear on a spaceship or in some kind of fighter jet or, futuristic craft or computer, etc. So I brought out Serum 2 and the patch is pretty simple. Basically, oscillator array is just a wavetable, and I've picked a few that I kind of like. But for now, I'm just going to stick with FM Splat. I kind of like sticking to one oscillator. I find that the second oscillator can kind of disrupt the sound because it goes so fast. So the secret to kind of making these sounds, well, one way of doing it is to basically use a really fast LFO. And I've taken this LFO1 and I've made this kind of shape and I've put it onto the wavetable position. So that essentially is just moving the wavetable at a specific rate once you dial it in. So I've also made a macro and that will control the speed rate down here. And I've added just a little bit of noise just for a little sizzle of something extra in there. If the noise is too harsh, you'll definitely hear it. I should probably run over the effects. The effects are fairly straightforward. Tiny bit of chorus. This Bodhi frequency shifter delay thingy I put on just for a little bit of character. Some distortion, overdrive, which I really like. It's quite tame, the overdrive, and then compressor just to bring out some extra details. So that's that. And let's have a listen to what we get from just messing about. It sounds okay, not the most interesting. So what we'll do is add a frequency shifter onto this. I'm just using the kilohertz basic one here. And that will add a whole different dimension to the sound now. It sounds like. So that gives it a much more kind of futuristic, techie sound. Let's try and put on another plugin, and that would be Soundtoys Crystallizer. So let's see what we have now. This is the first preset, so... But you can hear, you could get alarms, all sorts of alert signals. Again, it would be a case of picking the best bits after recording and then just arranging them how you want. Then we can just simply bring out our rolling sampler. Settings, which is duration, I will say 2 minutes. And we can now do some more experimenting. Mess with the wavetable. Let's try a more analog. Anyway, you get the idea, and you can kind of mess around with the tables themselves. The only thing to be aware of when you're processing these, I take quite a bit of the low end out as you pitch it down. You can get rid of that because it's not really necessary. But on the flip side of that, with the frequency shifter, as you pitch that up, it can make the sound very brittle. So that's something to be aware of. It can be too shrill. You can just take out what we have, and you can just kind of take out what you need and just slot them together as needed. I'm just randomly going here, and you can just literally make a load of different combinations. Some will be better than others, and yeah, so that's just one way of doing it. There's loads of other ways. If you've got different stuff, drop me a comment, because I'm always interested to hear how people do their own stuff. Always great to learn some new stuff. Thanks for being with me. I hope you got something out of it, and if you did, please like and share the vid. All right, until next time, take care.